Hey everybody, this is the third video in the playlist that tells the story of our adventure in Crestone, Colorado. If you haven't seen the others, then be sure to start from the beginning and the whole story will make a lot more sense. But for now, here's a quick recap to set the scene. In the first video, my father and I met our friends Tom and Deborah, who spent the last few years living in their hippie school bus while building a huge passive solar Earthship-inspired home using old car tires rammed with dirt and recycled materials. In the last video, Tom introduced me to his friend Matt, who was doing the same thing down the road. Matt and I became quick friends after I ended up blowing a nail through my finger helping him install a ceiling at his house. This part of the story picks up when I learned that Matt also had a YouTube channel and hosts a podcast with yet another Earthship owner-builder named Pete. Pete also happened to be building an Earthship down the road. Seriously. I'm not making this stuff up. And so, after discovering that there was another YouTuber in Crestone, I got my gear ready, picked up the phone, gave him a call, and asked him politely for an interview. And here's the home tour for you.
Here we are coming at you, Crestone, Colorado. This is Matt.
And Pete.
Meet Pete and his dog Isabella. They live in a 900 square foot, totally off-grid Earthship studio in Crestone, Colorado.
It's going to be highlighting a lot of videos and how-to videos of the processes that we've gone through in the past, just really trying to help people out and have owner-builders and empower owner-builders to kind of do their thing.
With a bachelor's degree in music technology and audio recording, Pete has been working hard to build a home studio. The inspiration first came in his last year of college, when he started to make passive income by selling the rights to a video he posted that went viral after it got 11 million views.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
All these TV shows started to call. It was on Tosh.0. It
Oh,
was on Jimmy Kimmel. It was on fucking.
It was on Tosh?
It was on Tosh. It was on MTV, Rob Dyrdek, Ridiculousness. All these
Whoa.
places, and it was usually like $500 for them to license like the 30-second clip to it.
The royalties helped him afford his last year of college, but the checks eventually stopped. However, it did get him thinking about passive income, which led him to the idea of passive housing.
I was working at a place called Sweetwater Sound in Fort Wayne, Indiana, for 3 years after college, and I didn't like Indiana. I was, kind of wanting to change it up from working in an office and talking on the phone all day, and discovered Earthships and discovered that my aunt and uncle were living in Taos, New Mexico, 10 minutes away from all the stuff that was going down. So I was like, hey, saved up some money, wanted to find a place with no building codes, and that's kind of one of the things Earthship talks about, are pockets of freedom. Found Crestone and found my friend Thomas and Deborah, who were also building an Earthship. Have a community of people that can be helpful is very big time. I feel like that's half the reason why Earthship does so well in the past, 30 years, is because they always have people that get inspired by what Mike Reynolds is trying to do and come volunteer or help out or do something similar. And it's like, it's a team.
Yeah.
It's like if I just went, hey, I'm gonna go buy 40 acres in the middle of the county and I'm an hour away from my friends or whatever like that. Hey, I'm gonna go move in the woods somewhere, and it's like there's not like-minded people that are right down the road that are doing the same thing. It's tough. And like I'm a perfect example of someone that's never done it before. Went to Earthship for a month, got inspired, and came out here 3-4 years later, and I'm in a house, no rent, no electricity bill, no water bill.
Yeah.
I pay $100 a year on county taxes still. So it's like, sure, I live in a property owner association where I have to pay $400 a year. Kind of sucks, but
check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
I've never done it before, so I'm totally green to all this stuff, and I've done a fair amount in 3 years.
But it sounds like in 3 years you've learned a heck of a lot about what it's like to build in the so-called pocket of freedom that is
It
this.
is, and I think that's what people that are, how would you say, like that have blind ambition or that are like trustafarians are like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna build an Earthship. Like, I think a lot of people have a lot of hope, and like a lot of stuff is, you know, again, blind ambition. They want, you know, it sounds good and it sounds like a great deal, but it is a lot of work. You have to, like, just like anything, you have to put a lot of work into something if you want it. It is a pocket of freedom, and what I mean by that is literally if you tried to do this in any other county that had whatever they call UBCs, Universal Building Codes, you wouldn't be able to do it, you know, period, end of story. So like, even though you might have to still pull some state electrical permits, maybe a state plumbing permit, septic permit through the county, you still can do it. That thing that you can find people that are doing like-minded thing, whether it's Earthship type of folks or whether it's just people that are into like off-grid building. Like, I've met so many people that are building cool straw bale houses, cool, you know, rammed earth houses, cool, you know, ferro cement house, like all these different scria bag houses, like all these different types of building, because there's no building codes, makes people that are like do-it-yourselfers. You know, people that are like, hey, because of no building codes, I'm gonna go build my house easier than it would be if I built a house in Denver.
It sound right, boy.
Well, that's it for this video, but next time we've got Nikki and Zuki's Eclectic Homestead, Jeff's Sculptural Magical Masterpiece, and much more. So be sure to check out the Crestone, Colorado playlist on the Off-Grid Guru channel. And the best way to learn about Earthships is by building one. I created the Earthship model kit to put an Earthship in everyone's hands. I took everything I learned from the Earthship Academy and boiled it down into a simple and easy to understand 32-page full-color booklet, which has all new diagrams to help you learn about the 6 design principles that make Earthship some of the most sustainable buildings in the world. This great educational package has been used in both the Earthship Biotecture Academy classroom and in classrooms around the world.